Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke, and here with me today, back after his own hiatus, and it's been a minute since we were together, Josh, my beautiful bearded heterosexual Jewish life partner, is here in the studio with me. Welcome back to the show.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. Nobody fucking missed you. Nobody likes you. Oh my God. Josh is on single parent duty this week. He's running around.
It's nice.
It's nice. He said out of the corner of his mouth.
Super easy.
It's super easy and nice. It's so great doing this by my fucking...
Just eat your dinner. Get in the tub.
Oh my God. So today's Tuesday, right?
Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. Good Lord. I came back yesterday or Monday from Austin, so my whole week has been thrown out of helter. Yeah, it's helter skelter. It's hard to remember the days now. We've got so much stuff going on with Shell Shock right now. Just a lot of balls up in the air. And then we might as well go ahead and make the announcement now. The only thing I'm going to tell you as far as Shell Shock is concerned is a new expansion. And we're calling it Shell Shock After Dark. And that's all I'm going to say on that. It's real. It's happening. We're formulating it. We're getting the things ready to go. But yes, Shell Shock After Dark. I'll let your mind race with that and wonder what the hell's coming. No pun intended. So there's that. And as you know, this episode is brought to you by ShellShockCBD.com, the rack out gummies right now. Look, if you can't sleep, go look at our reviews on Google. Go look at all the amazing reviews that we didn't pay for. You know, we can't edit. It's real.
They're in there.
Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of satisfied, happy customers using our rack out gummies. 5 milligrams of melatonin, 15 milligrams of CBD. You can't beat that. Affordable price. And here's the best part. If it doesn't work, we'll give you your money back. That's how positive we are about these products. So they are all THC free. You will not fail a drug test. You have our guarantee. And if these don't work for you, scroll to the bottom of the ShellShockCBD.com website and see the refund policy. Read it. And we will make sure that you get your money back. Mm-hmm. It's just that easy. I don't see any other companies in the CBD industry really of our magnitude offering a deal like this.
I don't either.
And this is permanent. This is not going away. All of our gummies come with a money-back guarantee. We are that confident in these products. So again, for the rest of this month, September, use code MUG, M-U-G, and get a free Shell Shock branded acrylic mug valued at roughly $14.99 for free with your order of $50 or more. What are you waiting for? Start having the best sleep of your life. Give us a chance to earn your business and make you a lifetime customer. And again, that is ShellShockCBD.com. Boom. Okay. So updates on yesterday's podcast. Josh is aware of the Junior Rakowski running for Congress slid into my DMs last night. And, I'm not going to give you every specific of that conversation, but he has admitted to knowing what he did was wrong to me personally. He confirmed that, and he's going to make a public statement. I don't know what he's going to say. I'm not advocating for this guy. I simply said I look forward. And I gave him some advice. I was like, look, you did the wrong thing. You said the wrong thing. Stand up. Take your beatings like a man, and then you might be surprised how forgiving people might be. I was like, I can't guarantee that, but at least you're going to step up and own your mistake. That's step one to making this right. Mm-hmm. That's all you got to do. And after that, you just, you let it play out and see what it is. But to sit there and ignore this and double down and do wordplay and say I was misunderstood. No, not at all. Not at all. You were not misunderstood. You said it clear as day. And it's going to be up to him to make this statement. Like I said, it an actions and not words. No pun intended. Like your words now mean your actions. We'll see what he says. So he said he's going to make a statement. I don't know when it is. And I even offered. I sent him a DM again. I was like, hey, if you want to, you can come on the podcast and I'll give you a fair shake. We'll do an interview and I will give you a fair shake to it. Basically, fess up to it. And then we're good.
I mean, I don't understand why people embellish their service like that, because it's eventually going to come out, right?
Yeah, we live in a day and age now to where you can't even fake the funk anymore.
No, you can't.
And he also acknowledged in that DM that his uncle Rick, the Navy SEAL, he realized he was stolen valor. I realized that. Like, wow. I mean, come on, dude. He had Army ribbons in his stack, and he was a Navy SEAL. That should have been a dead giveaway. And the fact that he was fat was a dead giveaway. I never saw Navy SEALs from the Nam era
with double chins.
With double chins, with like 3 extra chins. It just didn't happen. Those dudes were like, because they were in the water. These guys are SEALs, like fucking Navy SEAls. These guys are string bean made of steel. So to see a fat SEAL in the Nam era is kind of like, what? It's like, okay. We'll see. Now, Colonel Stu, basically his excuse, I have it on good authority, is that we need to see the bigger picture. No, that's a cop-out. The bigger picture is, yeah, we want Republicans to run. We want veterans to run. And we don't want to like bend the knee to the left. But at the same token, that doesn't mean that you go out there and you lie right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because if you lie to something about something as easy as your service, because that's easy. I mean, let's just put this in context. I told Junior this last night. I was like, what you did, you caved on a very easy topic. I was like, now let's do abortion. You get to stand on that? These are serious questions to ask.
Yeah.
And as an elected representative, I need to know that you're going to have a backbone. Now, of course, I don't live in this guy's district, so my vote it's never going to have, it doesn't matter. I can't vote in this, but you get where
Where's
I'm
he
going
at, in Ohio?
He's in Ohio, the 9th district, 9th congressional district. I could have that wrong. But again, the invitation's there. I DM'd him back, let him know. I was like, you have an opportunity here on the show. I will not attack you. And you essentially can either fill in your own grave or dig it deeper. It's really up to you. I'll give you the opportunity to do both. So we'll see. And again, this would not be possible without a big shout out to the military meme community, especially 18 Alpha Chronicles. These guys do their due diligence and they feed me this information. I look it up. They provide the facts and the proof. It's like, all right, I'll talk about it. I was like, this does need to be addressed. And so big shout out to those guys and a thank you for them sharing the podcast.
Yeah, I don't think you want to start your career in politics.
Fuck no.
Like that.
No. Yeah.
I mean, and right now it might be over before it even got started, which...
You know, I don't know. He's still got some time. And and I told him, I've dealt with PR shit for 5-6 years. I do it for myself. I mean, I know how it works. It's like, bro, your best bet is you get in front of this. You say, yeah, guys, look, I fucked up. But the reason I fucked up is because I just wanted to be accepted. I should have been stronger than that. And I apologize. I realize now. And you just be honest, be humble, be contrite. And I think you will find that maybe you'll be surprised at people's ability to forgive. I think that's fair because in the grand scheme of things, it was a service. This didn't impact really anybody else. This is mainly towards him. But we're going to see what path he decides to take. And I sincerely hope he takes the right one.
I think my problem with it is the fact that he's using stolen valor as a way to move up in politics and to play up people's emotions.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that's something you really have to be aware of.
To be completely transparent, the tactic he tried with me last night was wordplay. He's like, no, they misunderstood me. I was stationed in Qatar, but I flew sorties into Afghanistan, into Bagram. I said, but you weren't stationed there. You said in the clip, and I said, your words are verbatim said, I did one tour in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That's not a tour. You flew in and you flew out. You weren't stationed there. I was like, so what you're doing is you're lying by omission, by you're creating this narrative by not being clear and just kind of putting it out there and let the user, the listener decide for themselves and come to their own conclusion. I was like, you know what you're doing is wrong.
Because who's that other Democratic politician?
The guy was a nom,
Dick,
but wasn't.
Is his name Dick Durbin or something like that?
Dick Durbin.
Something like that. What's his name?
What did they do?
He stolen valor, or he embellished his service in Vietnam. Yeah,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Was that?
He's still there. Yeah,
right. Yeah, I forget.
What was his name?
I remember his face.
Yeah, it's his wormy face.
Yeah. We'll see, though. We'll see what he decides to do. Like I said, the platform is yours. If you want to use it for the right thing or the right, it's really up to you. So I don't enjoy doing this shit.
No, it's not him. I'm sorry. It's not Dick Durbin.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think it's Dick Durbin. But either way, big things to come for him. I mean, you can either try and salvage your career, what's left of me. If it was me, I would drop out. Save yourself the money. Save yourself. I mean, I get that we want Republicans and all. I understand that. But when it came time for you to freaking make a decision, you made the wrong decision.
Right. And out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. And this Colonel Stu, you backed him. You compromised everything you did. And I told this guy, I was like, and having Scheller run cover for you ruined him.
Yeah.
I was like, his credibility's shot.
He's standing by it, isn't he?
Oh, he's going to. He's going to double. If you double down, and that's what I hope Murkowski understands. Like, not only did you fuck up your career, you fucked up his, but he willfully chose to do this.
Yeah.
But at the same token, at least you're exposing grifters for who they really are. So now I question everything Scheller has ever stood for. So if you're saying, hey, we gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet. Okay, yes, there is some truth to that, but not something so simplistic as lying about your service. Okay, sometimes you do have to make compromises when it comes to getting these bills out of committee. I get that. I understand that. There has to be give and take. But those are on your terms, not, hey, I lied about my service right off the bat. So we'll see. You know, it's balls in his court. So, all right. So much to get to. Well, good news in the 2A community here. Canadian province refuses to participate in Trudeau's federal gun confiscation program. Alberta Justice Minister Tyler Chandreau said his province will not participate in any attempts to seize firearms the federal government under Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has recently prohibited, including so-called assault rifles. I saw a very good point somebody made. It talked about how Joe Biden tweeted out that we need to ban these assault rifles, these weapons of war, while you're sending weapons of war to Ukraine to defend itself from a Russian invasion. Do you not see the hypocrisy in this? It goes beyond the government. It is the people's rights to defend themselves, not just against our own government, but other foreign invaders. This is like a very multifaceted amendment that we have, a multifaceted right. And Biden sitting there doing this, sending all this money through weaponry over to Ukraine, it's a complete hypocritical move to sit there and say we need to ban these weapons. Why are you sending these weapons of war to put into the hands of civilians that were never even trained on these? You're handing a new... Oh, before I forget, I watched this video on Instagram. For those that don't know, Putin is conscripting over 300,000 soldiers, meaning he's drafting them. Yeah. Civilians with a good chunk of which have no military training. And I saw a video of a in-briefing for some of the new conscripts. And it's this female. She's up there in age. She's got a little hat on. And essentially, they gave them their uniforms, their weapons, but now they got to go scrounge medical on their own. And she's basically saying, get tampons, get all these things, which are horrible. Don't do that. For those that say, you stick a tampon in a bullet hole. No, because the tampon freaking soaks up the blood, expands the wound. It does way more damage. No, your best bet is a fucking tourniquet and apply a dressing on it. And that's all you got to do. And there's more to it. I shouldn't be so quick to answer with that, but you get what I'm saying. Don't use the fucking tampons. It's a dumb move. We've had veterans, the Kardashian vets out there fucking promoting this shit. And any doctor or medical trauma person will say, don't fucking do that. Because essentially, you forget, okay, that tampon is inserted, absorbs all that blood, and what is it doing? It's coagulating, it's drying, and now you got to remove that motherfucker, and what are you doing? It's swollen, it's expanded the wound. People don't realize this. This is basically one of the cool guy things that these fucking douchebags in the military do. It's, oh, look how cool I am. I'm using this fucking thing because it's outside the box thinking. Yeah, it's just not outside enough because it's doing more damage, and people just don't get that. Anywho, I'm watching this video of these Russians, and there's one Russian dude who's literally crying. He's already in his uniform, basically talking about, I have no training. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's like, I don't even hate the Ukrainians, but I'm being told I need to go fight on the front. And I'm sitting there watching this video, and it's of him and his buddy, and you can tell they're both scared. Like, they are scared shitless. Like, imagine, if you will, like, just take a second, folks, and think about that if America was invaded for whatever reason, or let's just say the war in the Middle East was still going on, and then they initiated a draft. And they said, you're going to the front in 2 weeks. No training. We're going to give you uniforms. We're going to give you your weaponry. And by the way, you got to track down your own medical equipment, your own food, your own sleeping mats, shit like that.
Let's go on.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. The seasoned veteran me is like, no, I like this because now I can choose what the fuck I want to bring, which is usually 10 times better than what the Army's going to issue. But you get where I'm going. Civilians wouldn't know that. So these dudes, they have a look in their eye that I actually feel bad for them. And I'm like, bro, your life expectancy, you're dead. You're a dead man.
It's not all Russians that are like the government. It's the government.
It's the government,
who are the evil ones.
And the same thing in Iran that I saw, like I got some pushback when I was posting about the women's movement in Iran. And it's like, Iran fucking hates America. It's like the government does. Yeah. And I've spoken with dozens of Iranians. I have Iranians DMing me saying, no, we don't hate America. We love America. The government hates it, and the government wants us to hate it because they know what we represent. That's why so many Iranians are trying to come to America. So it's like, yeah, I didn't know that. And it's like, yeah, that's the government propaganda. And it works because they think, or they make the entire world think that Iranians hate everybody. Yeah. I was like, that was the impression I got. And then I know, like I said, several Iranians like, no, we fucking love America. We do everything we can to get over here. So, and you're going to have your mixture in there where there are some Iranian loyalists. It's just the same with most cultures out there. But, yeah, the look in this dude's eye while he's being videotaped. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like a brand new lieutenant in Vietnam, your life expectancy is like, what, 30 days? I was like, you ain't even going to make it that long, bro. In Russia, in the winter coming over there, it's like, dude, you're fucking done. And all it's going to turn into is you're going to have to fight in place. Wherever they're at, once winter hits, you're not moving. That ground is going to be so saturated and soggy, and you're not moving. So it'll be interesting to watch.
I don't know. Do you think you could escape?
Oh, yeah. And Ukraine is actually doing a very smart move. Zelensky's basically saying refugees for Russians that want to come over, he'll allow it.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
fucking brilliant. You essentially now have an army that's going to be leaking. Mm-hmm. You know, your army is going to be losing troops by going over to the others, defecting in a sense. And you know, it's a good thing. Again, this whole thing, I don't want American involvement, don't get me wrong, but this is a smart strategy for Zelensky to take, saying it's the same that we did with the Germans. We had battalions of Germans surrendering in World War II saying, hey, if you come over, there's warm food and a place to sleep, and the war is over for you. You'll be protected. And these guys realize, like, yeah, is this really, there comes a time, like especially World War II, to be specific, that you start to understand and realize, like, hey, this isn't worth it. This is not what we were told. This is a lie. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to fight. This isn't worth my life. And Zelensky is doing this. So it's a smart move. Get their own troops to defect. And then, I mean, the other thing he'd be mistaken on doing is saying, oh, by the way, we'll give you other uniforms and you can fight Russians with us. No, like then people are like, I don't want to fight my own people. But what I would like to do is to go someplace and just be out of this fighting until it's over. Smart move. Smart fucking move.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to put a strain on the economy because now they got to support these people. But you could easily send them other places like, you know.
Luckily, we keep sending them truckloads of money.
Absolutely. Hell, bring them to America. Why not? You know, just fucking, that's the way it works.
No. Say that. They'll show up here.
It's just, that's the way we're going with this. So, but, yeah, anyway, Justice Minister Chandra explained that he did not want, this is about the Canadians not doing the gun buyback shit, did not want to see the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in Alberta go around confiscating firearms after claiming to have received a letter from the federal Minister of Public Safety, Mark Mendicino, asking for resources to aid in confiscation efforts set to begin in the autumn. They are literally going to go around and try and confiscate guns. That's where the war kicks off in America. When you actually start sending troops, then you're going to have people armed and having standoffs. Be like, if you try and do this, bring body bags, because now it's a war. Now it's a fucking war. Alberta taxpayers pay over $750 million per year for the RCMP, and we will not tolerate taking officers off the streets in order to confiscate the property of law-abiding firearm owners, Chandra said, CBC reports. This is awesome. This is what you hope to see. For those that don't understand, this is exactly what you hope to see from law enforcement, especially sheriff's departments, because essentially they're elected. They're not beholden to anybody except the electors. And that's why in California, they want to pass legislation that basically can mean the city council can fire a sheriff. Like, no, that's an elected position. Mm-hmm. So when you see law enforcement taking the stand, they're doing the right thing, saying, no, we're not going to do this. We will not enforce this in our area. Now you've got inter-country rivalry, which is what you need to push back against a corrupted federal government. This is 100% what you need to see. And I think we will see a lot of that, especially in the southern states in America, if they ever tried something like this. Yeah. But if they ever did try something like this, it's like, look, if you decide to send troops to Compton Pro, good luck. But also, there's a lot of, they wouldn't be able to do this a lot in America because, again, there's a lot of unregistered weapons here. Like, there's a lot of unregistered weapons. That's the reason why you do it. Yeah. So it's like, hey, we're going to send people to Gaza. You're not going to find mine.
Right.
No.
Yeah, the issue, too, is with the credit card companies now. Mm-hmm. I mean, you had to pay cash.
Pay cash. You fuck the credit card company, pay cash. Well, this has been making the rounds. I didn't... Oh, before I forget, the Rumble situation, we have 2 channels. Well, 3, realistically. We have the John Ross channel, which you can look up. We're going to post new John Ross videos over there. Need y'all to follow it and help grow it. We have there's 2 John Burke ones. And here's the confusing part about Rumble. I didn't know this. We created the John Burke page specifically, but under that we have the 2 channels, John Burke and John Ross. So realistically, I've renamed the backup page. I think it's John Burke something. Anyway, we're streaming to John with a space and then Burke. You can look up the channel. It's got the more followers, it's got the more likes. That's the one we're always going to stream to. I contacted Rumble. They said, if we delete the main John Burke, then you lose the sub channels of John Ross, John Burke, so it's not going to happen. So what I'll do is I'll rename the main channel my backup, and we'll just continue streaming to the normal channel, which is just the John space Burke. Sorry for the confusion there. We're still learning it, and yeah, now we've hopefully made this clear for people. So there you have it. Okay. The one thing I saw in the news the other day that I didn't get a chance to talk about was apparently the Nord Stream pipeline is leaking.
Yeah.
And not just a tiny leak. This is bad. Dramatic images of erupting sea emerged from Europe-Russia Nord Stream pipeline leaks. The Kremlin said on Tuesday that it cannot rule out sabotage as the cause of significant damage to the Nord Stream pipeline network that carries gas from Russia to Germany. The same thought occurred to various European officials as they turned gimlet eyes upon Russia as a potential suspect. Okay, Russia ain't gonna do this. Russia basically right now has control of that pipeline. Say this is like this. Think of it not as oil, but money. You shut that thing down, you start losing money. Now, if Russia's trying to do this in a sense of like creating like an espionage and like blaming it on Europe, fair, possibly. But ultimately, who stands to benefit the most from this? What if this, and this is in the middle of the fucking ocean. That's the other, this isn't on land, this is in the ocean.
They would turn that spigot off, right?
Yeah.
Or I think the issue here is that there was still oil and gas, or gas still was in the pipeline. So like when it actually,
I don't know. But what if it was like an eco-terrorist? Think about this. Somebody that was like saying we need to get off of natural energy, go green. But if we sabotage this forces Europe to not only have to start back up the coal plants, but also start investing heavily in green energy or green energy research. I mean,
aren't they doing that already? Aren't they investing billions and billions of dollars?
But this is going to expedite the process because now you've actually you've lit a fire under their ass, no pun intended. But and here's the thing. I don't know. I don't even have a guess on this. This could be literally anybody could be responsible for this. So to even speculate about it, it's like, I mean, these are the possibilities. Which one is more likely? I don't fucking know because there's so many back and forth, secondary, tertiary reasons for this. Be it Europe, Russia, whatever the case, or just a third independent party altogether. Fuck, it could be America for all I know, because, you know, we love sticking our dick in other people's pussies that don't belong. That's just us, you know? But there you have it, so.
It's true. That is true. I don't know. I mean, they cut off the energy to Europe, then
Europe is forced
makes them weak.
Well, Europe already restarted several coal plants.
Okay.
Yeah, the green energy people, they caved really quick. They caved really. Europe,
as soon as it gets cold.
Oh, like, absolutely.
You know what?
Wasn't that bad. God bless those fossil fuels. You know what?
Maybe we just use some oil.
just a little bit of oil.
You know what I mean?
They're gonna start sending out ships, sailboats to go harvest like whale blubber for oil again, just like in burn land. They're gonna go. We're going back to the dark ages. Let's kill the whales. Not really.
I know.
The Nord Stream AG consortium called the multiple leaks in both of its Baltic Sea pipelines unprecedented and said on Tuesday it was not yet possible to estimate the timing of the restoration of the gas transport infrastructure. Russia stopped sending gas to Germany in retaliation for sanctions against the Russian invasion of Ukraine. But the pipelines were still filled with gas. Up to 177 million cubic meters of gas may have already leaked from the breach in Nord Stream 2 with as yet unknown environmental impact. Now, Nord Stream 1 ran through Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. Nord Stream 2 was a direct pipeline from Russia to Europe. If I've got that wrong, forgive me, but that's what I remember this being. And that's when Trump was also so like, you know, you're literally.
And they laughed at him.
And they laughed at him.
The Germans laughed.
Yeah. Like, oh, they will never do this. You're so foolish, man, Orange man. And now Trump's like, I fucking told you so. You stupid crowds. You dumb fucking crowds. You don't listen. We tell you not to invade other countries. You do it to Poland, and then we just come in and kick your ass. It's like you just don't even learn. We should build a wall around you. We should reenact the Berlin Wall, but move it to the border areas and say no more. We're done with this. We're done.
Not so funny anymore.
No. I can say kraut, though, because I'm part German. Yeah, I can say that. Black people do it, so that's the same as, you know.
Kraut?
Yeah, kraut, yeah. Kraut's not even that bad. It's not even the sauerkraut. They called the Germans that, or the Huns, or Jerry, you know. As far as like terms like racial disparaging comments to dehumanize the other side, kraut is like the G version.
Yeah, I don't know that I would claim. It doesn't sound like a put down to me. Kraut?
Not really, just based on a food. Yeah. But I don't know. You know, some people will, you know. Well, that's so. Shut up, bitch. Anyway,
they probably have blue hair.
Speaking of the peasant class, Lizzo, Mrs. Oppressed herself while her fucking teeth jiggle from being so fat. The same woman that literally sat there after winning an award and being a rich black woman and clearly obese said that she's oppressed. Women are oppressed. Well, you know, how do I phrase this?
Shut up.
I don't like second-class citizens in the sense of you are we'll put it this way. You've got no respect for anything. Lizzo plays James Madison's flute. President James Madison, the 200-year-old crystal flute on loan from the Library of Congress, which, if we stop there, fucking awesome. I don't like this bitch, but if she still did that, it's like, bro, that's an honor. Mm-hmm. But it didn't stop there. While twerking. This is why there is no respect for the hip-hop community or R&B pop figures like this, because you took something that was so fucking, like, that's history, and you had to fucking do this dumb shit of being a slut, acting like a slut. I'm going to twerk while playing the president's flute. Are you fucking kidding me? This is what a lack of standards has in our country. Now, I know a lot of people are literally like, oh, John, it's not that serious. Yeah, you know what? This is like an indicator of where our society is at as a whole. It'd be like somebody saying, hey, we're going to allow you to read the actual Declaration of Independence. We're going to bring it to you, and you can read it in studio. And you know what I'm going to do? While doing it, I'm going to do nothing but make dick jokes and twerk. Don't you think that something so serious should be looked on with like a little bit of reverence, a little bit of, act like a fucking adult? But what does this bitch do? Ugh.
I'm watching her video right now.
Oh, it's fucking disgusting. And the fact that she's fat makes it even worse. Oh my. If we have to sit there and like subject ourselves to this type of like peasantry, at least be hot and have an ass worth fucking. She doesn't. She's just fat. Grammy-winning pop star and Joe Biden Kamala Harris surrogate, Lizzo, played a 200-year-old crystal flute lent to her by the Library of Congress before proclaiming, bitch, I just twerked and played James Madison's crystal flute from the 1800s. Why do we lower the value of such historical items with these types of just filth? It's what these people are. Like these people have no respect.
Not my cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea at all. These lower class citizens that want to just sexualize it, degrade it, have no reverence for it. Like why throw pearls before swine? No pun intended. Why not give it to somebody out there, like, for example, again, a professional flute player that would actually respect this event?
Is she not a flute player?
No, she is, and she can play very well. But when you're sitting there, if you watch the video, it's like, what the fuck is this shit? And this is why nobody respects black culture, because of this shit right here. But you want to do it in the name of freedom. No, you're just being a promiscuous slut. Call it for what it is. But how the fuck did she even land this?
I don't know.
If you're so oppressed,
she's on fire right now in Hollywood.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody loves her because she's black. She's independent. She's fighting back against the woke oppression.
If she comes out of the closet,
bro, she's president.
She's gonna have a school named after her in California.
Oh, yeah. Lizzo was on stage in one of her recent concerts where she was handed a 200-year-old flute originally owned by the 4th U.S. President, James Madison. It's crystal. It's like playing out of a wine glass, bitch, so be patient, Lizzo told her audience before playing the flute. Lizzo then played the flute and exclaimed, bitch, I just twerked and played James Madison's crystal flute from the 1800s. We just made history tonight. Yeah, and not in a good way. Bitch, yeah. Bro, like this is what the youth are following. This is what young people look up to.
Hey, bitch.
Hey, bitch.
I'm going to play this flute, bitch.
Hey, cunt, how about you fucking give it back and let somebody else that's actually deserving of it actually play the fucking flute? Not you. Not you. You don't deserve that. What a joke.
She's talking to the audience when she's saying that, right?
Yeah.
It's crystal, bitch.
Lizzo posted the video of her playing the flute twice on Instagram. And one of the video captions, the singer claimed that she was the first person to ever play the flute. Y'all, the Library of Congress has let me play the historic 200-year-old crystal flute on stage tonight, she wrote. No one has ever heard what it sounds like. Now you do, the naked singer added. In another video caption, Lizzo said, I'm the first and only person to play this presidential crystal. I'm surprised she didn't say black woman. I'm really surprised. Play this presidential crystal flute. It's literally an heirloom. Like, as a flute player, this is iconic, and I will never be over it. Lizzo explained to her audience that the flute was from the early 1800s. This was a gift to James Madison from a French crystal flute designer to celebrate his second term, according to the report by Daily Mail. There was a fire, and the only two things that were saved were a portrait of George Washington and this crystal flute right here, she added. I am the first person to ever play it. Last month, Lizzo, who previously bragged about her bank account is so fat, used her MTV Awards speech to claim she is oppressed and begged her fans to vote to change some of these laws that are oppressing us. In April, the Heaven Help Me singer, who is also climate change hardliner, posed in a tiny thong, which put her entire behind on display while boarding a private jet. This woman, oh God, I'm not even gonna click on it. It's nasty.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, it's gross. No, this is not attractive. Look, ladies, I don't give a fuck what you think. Fat is not attractive. It's not. You can sit there and have this female empowerment. I've beat this horse to death, but it still bears repeating. This is not attractive. You are fat. You are disgusting. This is not attractive to men. Now, if you want to sit there and say, well, I don't care what men think, then prepare to be single and lonely and unfuckable. That's your prerogative. Eventually you're going to dye your hair blue and turn to a lesbian, and then only the fat ones will fuck you.
Yeah, I just think, obviously there are men who
are
like a great big fat woman.
Yeah, but
right?
That's not healthy, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not healthy
No.
is the more underlining issue, I think.
They're essentially putting their sexual desires above your actual physical health. So if you actually boil it down, which a lot of stupid Americans don't want to do because, quite frankly, we have a very stupid society. But when you actually boil it down to the crux of what this issue is about, it's not about the fact that a man wants to sexualize and fetishize a big obese woman. Mm-hmm. There are women that go on these cameras and they get paid a lot of money to eat. Men will literally jerk off to this woman and eat. And again, I'm free market. You fucking do what you want. I just don't want to pay for your health care.
No.
Because you will go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. You will be in the hospital for obese-related issues, especially heart disease.
Oh, yeah.
But if you want to sit there and say, well, some men prefer, well, those men clearly would rather put priority over getting off than you being here and spending time with you. So therefore, you're a sexualized object to them. And by you sitting there using that as an excuse actually goes against female empowerment. That's how stupid these women are. I'm not even high. I could break this down for you. I should be high right now because fuck me running. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And I apologize for having her fat ass on the screen.
I know.
I apologize. Yeah, that's disgusting. I love so much being uncensored. I love the fact that we can say whatever the fuck it is. I still can't, bro. I feel like Dobie is free. It feels great to be able to actually finally say this because God forbid, I'm still surprised we're not banned on YouTube. We still have our YouTube channel, John Burke, the All American Savage Show. It's still up. They haven't banned it. Maybe because it's off the radar. I don't fucking know. Like, I have no idea. I'm surprised they haven't banned this. YouTube, come over to fucking Rumble. Oh, big fucking news. Now, I'm not trying to blow this out of proportion.
Huge.
Here's the link to come over to Rumble, folks. I'm posting it so YouTube can see it. Hold on, here we go. Okay, here we go. So, Elon posted something yesterday or the day before. Dan Bongino tweeted out to him saying, hey, maybe consider, or I'm sorry, who was it? Somebody, or no, it was Russell Crowe. Not Russell Crowe, fuck, the other, Russell Brand, the comedian, huge podcaster, makes a post and says, I'm being censored heavily on YouTube right now. Elon responds and says, oh, that's interesting. Dan Bongino responds that, hey, maybe check out Rumble. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing. Check out Rumble. Yeah, free speech, blah, blah, blah. Elon responds with, hey, I'm kind of preoccupied right now. The CEO of Rumble tweets out to Elon saying, hey, yeah, let's blah, 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 blah. We're free speech. We won't censor, blah, blah, blah. Elon responds with, maybe we should talk. If Elon backs Rumble, that is the initiation of the big tech civil war. Mm-hmm. You are going to see YouTube, Twitch, and everybody else start hemorrhaging influencers. Because don't get it twisted. Rumble still has to have a set of terms of services. It's going to have to happen. You cannot post child pornography. Right. You can't sell drugs. You can't do any of that. That's fair. I think these are fair and balanced terms, and they should apply to every content creator across the board. Where YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook have always gotten it wrong is that you go heavily against people on the right. You don't even allow for the discussion or the disagreement of trans issues, gay issues, racism in America at the hands of black people or black culture or white whatever. You can't even have open conversations because they will ban you. They banned us on Twitch. Had 40-something thousand followers on Twitch, partnered over there. They banned, by the way, it just came out that I think Destiny got banned like a week ago. I needed to reach out to him, see if he'll come on the show. As far as they censored him for ban evasion or suspension evasion. So Rumble is collecting these content creators. They're collecting these, like Andrew Tate. Like him, love him, hate him, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now he's over on Rumble and he's generating massive revenue over there. This is exactly what the free market should be doing. This is exactly how it works. Now, if Elon comes on board and he starts saying, you know what, fuck Twitter, this could be huge. This could be massive.
Yeah, and people will eventually, they'll find a place to go.
They will. Elon also has the power to build his own app platform to where he doesn't have to, you know.
And that's that's what's upsetting about these platforms like YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah.
And they have all these content creators that come on and build their platform,
and they just take it away.
And they take it away and they boot them off.
Yeah, they take it away.
You know what? Fuck those guys.
Like all my YouTube videos, gone.
Yeah.
The viral ones from years ago, gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never get those back.
Yeah, they're just
it's done.
Control Alt Delete.
Yeah.
There it is.
All the sweat equity you put into it, it's over.
It's like 320,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. What they could have done, it's like, hey, we're removing you from the platform, but we're going to give you a period of 1 week to download all your videos. At least give them that option. But not even that. Just literally, you're done. I couldn't even access my shit. I was so fucking pissed. But it's been a blessing in disguise because on Rumble, we're growing. We're growing fast.
Yeah, I've been a big proponent of moving to alternate platforms.
I should have listened. You're right. I should have listened.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, because
even
5 years
earlier.
ago, you could see how quickly Facebook and these other liberal
they're hemorrhaging.
websites are leaning. So it's just good to get out of there.
They're hemorrhaging fast. Like I said, when you are banning content creators and you are just, you know, applying these terms of services unfairly across the board, and you're clearly targeting anyone on the right, well, why the fuck am I going to stay?
Yeah.
So that's why you can find us on Rumble. John Burke, one word, follow the channels. We're going to be live. We're trying to do our best to be live 12 p.m. CST every day. So yeah, but I hope it happens. I hope it happens.
I think it will.
Now, again, I disagree with Elon on a lot of things, but there's no denying this guy's more on our side than he is the left, and he's got the fucking money, and he's got the ability to do it. He was also talking about applying Starlink to Iran. Really? Now, remember, I called this. I fucking called it. Anytime there is going to be an internet issue surrounding a war where the government is shutting down the internet, now Elon's going to be the first one everybody looks to, because once you threw your hat in the ring, that's it. So now that Iran is being censored, internet's being shut down.
Do you think that's a bad thing?
I think it's a horrible thing.
Really?
Yeah. Because now Elon is going to have to do it no matter what. Say, for example...
Not necessarily.
What if the cause is not just?
I mean, it's obviously at his discretion what he thinks he... But having an internet option in places like Iran or Ukraine right now, where there could be people out there who...
I'm saying it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's a good thing, but you've also opened up a can of worms, because what if there's a conflict in the future that...
there will be.
Yeah, 100%. But it's just kind of like... I don't know, man. It's like once you commit to something like that, it's the same as like a GoFundMe. When we had like a larger social media following, you share one GoFundMe, now you got to share them all. And now your page becomes saturated. Nobody wants to watch your shit anymore.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, people might expect you to do it. That doesn't mean you necessarily have to do it.
True, but again, when you do it for one, why are you doing it for the others? Then you're going to be accused of favoritism.
Right. I mean, there's just the risk you run.
Yeah.
But I can't see a negative outcome to giving people of Iran or people of Ukraine who need help, who need to try to connect with people outside their country.
Well, let's look at Ukraine. Ukraine, this whole thing was brought about by corrupted governments. This is not a justified war, but Elon's getting involved. It's a bad situation. As a CEO, it's like, do you really want to get in the middle of this? And meanwall, he's not making any money off of this, I don't think.
I don't know. I don't see a problem with it.
I
think it's his thing.
Right.
If he wants to do it. If he feels like it's helping people, then...
yeah, but I just feel like it's one of those things that eventually they're going to come again. You know, here's the other thing. There's no such thing as loyalty on social media, especially Twitter. You know, this is also... I'm putting in the parameters of, you know, when you did something good, people are going to remember. No, liberals don't give a fuck. They're going to turn on you in a heartbeat. They don't give a shit.
I mean, you can't do everything in your life to try to impress other people.
True.
I mean, some things you just got to do because it's the right thing to do.
Well, I wonder if that's why Elon did the Starlink over in Ukraine at first, because he had enough pressure from the people.
I don't think he doesn't strike me as the type of person that cares what other people think.
True. I don't know. We'll see then. But either way, this fat bitch played a flute and fucking totally disgraced herself. But again, this is our society. People don't believe in that anymore.
What is this, rock candy?
Let me fucking play this and twerk my fat ass. Like, oh my God, somebody should just disgusting. Just disgusting. And this is the same. This is second class citizen types. These are the peasantry of our society. That's why I cannot take them seriously. Like for something so, it's like when you meet the president. Even if I met Joe Biden, I hate that motherfucker, I would still dress accordingly. I would still act accordingly. That's the fucking president. And it's the office. Well, you know.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't. Meet Joe Biden?
Yeah. Oh, would I actually volunteer? Fuck no. If they invite me to go meet Joe Biden, I'm like, no. I was like, but if I was forced to, or let's say just any president really, it's just the fact of that's the office of the president. It's not the man I'm respecting. It's that office. It's the positions that other people have held, like the presidents of our history. It's that office. It ain't the man. It's like in the military, you salute the rank, not the man. Because sometimes that man is a piece of shit, but he's got that rank. And I know people don't like that, but for me, it's just kind of like, you know, but I would tell if like the President Biden asked me my thoughts, like, Mr. President, I don't really care for you or your administration. I think you're liars, yada, yada, yada. But I would still call him Mr. President. Do I have to? No, I don't. And I know plenty of people that, hey, Biden, you're a fucking piece of shit. You know, go play in traffic. I get that. And that's their prerogative. But I'm just simply saying, like, you have these idiots like Izzo or Lizzo, whatever fuck her name is.
I can't take her seriously, dude. I'm watching her videos on iTunes there. And
oh, my God.
It's just a great big bunch of fat people jumping. It reminds me of Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, my God.
That one music video he did.
Because I'm fat. Yeah. I'm fat. Shimon, you know it. What is it? My fuck thing is why. I forget it. It's. We should open with that song this morning.
Oh, my God.
My butt is wide.
That's what it reminds me of. Watch that video of hers on iTunes. It's hilarious.
Well, this is great news. You know why Don Lemon got axed from CNN Nighttime over to the morning show? Because he fucking sucks. This guy's an idiot. And he just had another. After that British woman essentially just spoon-fed that bitch live on TV and talked about reparations. Like, yeah, what about reparations for those white people? She didn't sound like that. She was actually mortified. Anyway, she threw it in his face that Don Lemon clearly did not know what he's talking about. It just proves he's an echo chamber of black liberals that claim racism. Like, bro, you were enslaving each other long before whites got there. So don't even sit there and pretend like it's white people's fault. It's just that white people perfected it.
His face. He wasn't expecting that at all.
I shouldn't say perfected it. White people monetized it more efficiently. Now, is it right? Of course it's not right. But let's at least blame goes everywhere to include Muslims, to include everybody.
Yeah. There's still slave trade going on right now over in Africa.
Yep. Oh, we don't talk about that. We don't. And there's also a lot of murdering of white indigenous Africans. Yeah. But black people aren't going to touch that. Why would any black liberal touch that?
It's an interesting That's an interesting
topic. An interesting next. No, Lemon Boy. Let's go there, Mr. Juicy Squeeze. Let's talk about this, Mr. I love white dick, but I hate white people. Like, okay. Well, Don Lemon does his best, as are all Democrats, to politicizing the hurricane that's about to hit Florida. And number one, before we even get started with this, Godspeed to the Floridians. Get the fuck out of there. Yeah. DeSantis is doing a really good job. You know, he's way ahead of this thing. He was issuing out state of emergency, telling people get out. Apparently, the hurricane has shifted some course. I haven't looked heavily into this, folks. I'm not even gonna lie. I've been busy with other stuff, but I believe it's supposed to make landfall is either a Cat 4 or a Cat 5. That's no joke. That's gonna fucking level houses. Do not. Unless it's too late, but please do not try and weather the storm on this one. Get the fuck out of there. You're only creating more issues for first responders to have to come rescue your dumb ass because you decide to try and stay. Which, in my opinion, I mean, honestly, if you decide to stay, you're on your own. You know, don't rely on the government. And I'm certainly, if it was me, it's like I'm not risking my life to come get you. It's like if you're stupid enough to fucking try and be in the middle of a hurricane that is a 500 meter or 500 mile whole eye, whatever you want to call it. Good luck. Like, good fucking luck. That thing is massive. That's what she said. 155 winds right now. 157 is a Cat 5. So it's almost there. But they're saying tonight or tomorrow morning is when this thing should actually be making landfall. And of course, I think that they say once it makes landfall, it loses a lot of steam and momentum. Right. But that takes some time. And whatever's in that thing's way. We dealt with this. We dealt with Rita. We dealt with Katrina. Was there for that. It was not fun. But anyway, Don Lemon doing his best to politicize everything he can. Tuesday, during an interview with CNN's Don Lemon, National Hurricane Center acting director Jamie Rome responded to the possibility of Hurricane Ian bearing down on Florida was a direct consequence of climate change. This is what Don Lemon wants to talk about. Here's a transcript, and this guy answers Lemon perfectly. Lemon says, yes, that's a big area. Some meteorologists, Jamie, have said that this storm could be entering another period of rapid intensification. Can you tell us what this is and what effect the climate change has on this phenomenon? There it is. You got to interject your bullshit into there. We're dealing with people about to die, and you want to talk about climate change? Like, Don Lemon, shut the fuck up, dude. How this guy still has a platform is beyond me. Just disrespectful. Trying to politicize. This is the most politicized hurricane there has ever been. Because even A.B. Klobuchar, that dumb cunt, is literally out there saying, if we went green, we can prevent this shit. Bitch, no, the fuck you can't. It's not just climate change.
I think there's fewer hurricanes now than there were like 100 years ago.
Bro, these people don't fucking listen. They're that fucking stupid. Amy Klobuchar, it's just any liberal in general, just shut the fuck up. Rome responds perfectly. It says, well, we can come back and talk about climate change at a later time. I want to focus on the here and now. I think the rapid intensification is probably almost done. There could be a little bit more intensification as it's still over the warm waters of the eastern Gulf of Mexico, but I don't think they're going to get any more rapid intensification. If you look here, you can actually see pretty interesting, or you can see pretty interesting for your viewers. You can actually see a second eye wall forming around the inner eye wall, and that's basically the second eye wall that is overtaking the original eye wall, and that should arrest development. Lemon says, so listen, I'm just trying to get that. You said you want to talk about climate change, but what effects does climate change have on this phenomenon that is happening now? Because it seems these storms are intensifying. That's the question here. Rome says, I don't think you can link climate change to any one event. You fucking idiot. And Lemon says, okay. Rome says, on the whole, on the cumulative, the climate change may be making storms worse, but to link it to any one event, I would caution against them. Lemon says, okay, well, hey, listen, I grew up there and these storms are intensifying. Something is causing them to intensify. Bro, shut the fuck up. Stop trying to push your political bullshit on people. This guy is just doing his best to get the word out. Yeah. He's saying, hey, this is not something we should be taking lightly. This is a serious storm. And Lemon's like, yeah, I get that. But, climate change. Listen to me, climate change. Let me see your penis. Climate change. I want to suck your penis. Climate change. And shut the fuck up.
Look, we're going to need reparations. Okay?
What effect would you say this has on the rest of Americans receiving reparations? The meteorologist is like,
look, Jim.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Obviously, reparations is going to be brought up.
And you types want to call yourselves journalists? Journalists. This is like he's journalisming so hard right now. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You got to be shitting me with this. It's like, this is why you got booted, bro. This is why nobody watches your bullshit anymore. You don't know when to separate the two. You certainly don't know how to read the room, and you're very tone deaf. This guy's a fucking putz.
I know.
DeSantis team hits back after Biden deems vaccination a vital part of hurricane prep. This isn't a lie, folks. Biden actually talked about this. This is how out of touch Democrats are in America.
It's such a joke.
It's a massive fucking joke. Even the ostriches, liberals, and conservatives, by and large, who've been doing this, that have their head in the fucking COVID sand, have to eventually pop that little pecker of yours out and say, wait a minute. Okay. We have a potential Cat 5 hurricane about to slam into the coast, flood people, shred homes, and you're worried about COVID?
COVID and reparations.
COVID and reparations and climate change. This basically exemplifies, number one, why Democrat leadership always gets things out of priority. Mm-hmm. Your priority should be to save lives. That other shit doesn't matter right now. This is why Democrats, by and large, do not make good leaders. You don't understand effective prioritization of tasks. The higher risk tasks come first, and the highest risk task is saving lives. Vaccinated, unvaccinated, doesn't matter. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and here's the thing. When Biden's talking about this, I'm very curious, is he offering any federal help?
Zero. They want DeSantis to fail so hard.
They want him to fail so bad, and it's going to cost Floridian lives just so they can make a political point.
That's how they crack eggs with lives.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' team on social media assured Sunshine State that its officials are ready and willing to help all Floridians who will be impacted by Hurricane Ian, regardless of vaccination status, after President Biden deemed getting vaccinated a part of hurricane prep. What a shitbag leader we have. Mm-hmm. What a fucking... Look, folks, Biden even said the pandemic is over. And all that meant was we're turning off the spigot to Big Pharma, making more and more money. And they're like, oh, whoa. You know, the White House is like, easy there, Biden. We still got a couple trillion to make here.
Hey.
Let's ease up on that, you know? Let's calm down a little bit.
Okay. Easy.
Let me be clear. If you're in a state where hurricanes often strike like Florida or the Gulf Coast or in Texas, a vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated. No, it's not. I can tell you, as a hurricane expert, as far as dealing with the cleanup and all that shit, I've dealt with it many different times. That ain't it, brah. That ain't it. You know what the priorities are? Getting them out of there and getting them access to food and water and freaking facilities. Those are the priorities. And then you let the waters recede and you go back in and you start restoration projects. And that's just putting layman's terms into layman's terms. This shit right here, it's prioritizing something that has completely irrelevant. Well, John, what about them spreading COVID? Dude, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Florida has been an open state for one of the longest periods, and they don't have vaccine mandates and requirements. So you try to enforce, again, Biden, so tone deaf on this. This is why nobody likes you. This is why nobody likes liberals by and large. Now, everything is more complicated if you're not vaccinated. A hurricane or natural disaster hits, he continued, making a bizarre connection between getting vaccinated and preparing for a massive storm. The DeSantis War Room addressed Biden's call for more vaccinations on Tuesday. This is a strange and puzzling assertion from POTUS. Governor DeSantis of Florida's world-class emergency management and first responders are ready to help all Floridians impacted by Hurricane Ian, regardless of vaccination status, it said. I cannot believe this is America right now. I cannot believe this.
Ain't that something?
What a fucking joke of administration. These people are so out of touch with reality. And Amy Klobuchar, this dumb bitch, Amy Klobuchar mocked after implying that Democrat policies could help prevent hurricanes.
Oh, God.
And any meteorologist out there is like, what?
Shut up, Amy.
Shut the fuck up.
Amy, just shut your face.
Social media musers mocked Klobuchar after the senator essentially suggested during a TV appearance that Democrat policies could help prevent hurricanes. It's interesting because we have been leaning more green these days, yet this one came about. So with them, it's going to be, here's the way it works in their mind. They fully believe this. They fully believe in this. So in their minds, like the perfect scenario is that we eventually go 100% green, we bankrupt the economy, but at least the hurricanes stop. And then when the hurricanes don't stop and we keep getting slammed by them, they're like, oh, well, for some reason, it's Republicans' faults.
Oh, yeah.
Democrats will never admit they're wrong. They'll never do that. Political leaders will always find a way to cop out and blame it on somebody else.
Yeah, I don't even think they believe that stuff.
I think they do.
I don't think they do. I think there's probably citizens, but these people in government, I'm going to say 99% of them don't believe the shit that they're talking about.
I think more so for like a money-making scheme?
Absolutely, it's a money-making scheme. That's what this whole thing is centered around, is money and power.
Well, I can see that.
I mean, because if everybody has to pay some sort of a credit, some sort of a tax for climate change. They're already
talking about that,
right? Yeah.
They're talking about like getting tax credits. Well, here's the other thing. I think it's bullshit to get tax credits for clean energy and vehicles because you're essentially fucking those who can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if I get a tax credit of $5,000 for my Tesla, but not everybody, majority of Americans probably cannot afford a $50,000 car.
And how much... I don't know how much fossil fuels go into making the actual cars themselves.
Exactly.
Is it an electric plant, a full electric plant that runs off of solar and wind?
Hell no.
It's not. It's using fossil fuels.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
Yep.
That kind of bullshit.
You see Kanye, his new clothing shit that he's doing now?
No.
He's literally dressing like he's got on rubber boots and looks like a painter.
It'll probably take off.
It's probably good. And his idea is putting his clothing in trash bags to make people go through them to find what they want. He said because it's something along the lines to let people know what the homeless people are going through. I'm like, well, then why not just donate that clothing to homeless people? Just curious on that. But again, and people eat this shit. Oh, Yeezy's so brilliant. He's a great musician. I'll give him that. This guy's a fucking idiot. He's an idiot.
He's done something right.
Oh, he's
a billionaire, right?
He's a fucking billionaire, clearly. But I mean, you can be a billionaire or millionaire, but being on OnlyFans and showing off your butthole, it doesn't mean that you know what the fuck you're doing.
How many billionaires are there on OnlyFans showing their buttholes?
Okay, let's just say rich people in general. You get where I'm going, because there's only one Yeezy. Some of his music's good.
No,
but a lot of shit this guy says is just fucking stupid.
But I mean,
anytime you give him a microphone, it's like Biden. It's like, okay, what is this guy gonna say?
Yeah.
What is he gonna say?
He did something right.
Bush hates black people. Okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe he was right. You know, looking back, maybe Bush did hate black people.
He hated fucking Americans, that's for sure. During an appearance on MSNBC's Morning Joe, Klobuchar bragged that Democrats just did something about climate change for the first time in decades. And by the way, it does nothing for it, but whatever. This is why we've got to win this. As that hurricane bears down in Florida, we've got a win in the midterm. We got to win it. Oh, wow. Way to make it about the midterms. No wonder. Hey, guys. Democrats, they hail themselves in their own minds as weather influencers now. Yeah. Hey, if you vote for Democrats, the hurricanes stop because Republicans, the big, bad, mean Republicans, they're the causes of these hurricanes. Like a Jonah and the whale story.
What do you think the biggest issue right now that people are dealing with?
Inflation.
You think it's inflation?
The prices at the pumps, inflation. Money is priority in every economy. I mean, duh, fucking stupid thing to say. But still, money. Money is the root cause of all issues right now, which is linked to gas prices, grocery prices. That is the pressing issue.
I think nationwide. That and probably illegal immigration.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. But I'm going to say, as far as prioritization goes, food and water are immediate priorities, and the affordability of said things is the priority. But yes, because illegal immigration is definitely linked to...
We're starting to see the results of these illegal aliens coming over by the rise in crime. Yeah. Like even in
New York.
In Plano, here in Plano, Texas, just 10, 15 minutes from our office here, they busted a brothel like in a suburban neighborhood where they pulled out like 15 sex trafficked people.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Like just in a regular suburban neighborhood, turning tricks.
I wonder why that isn't making the news.
Yeah.
How'd you find out about it?
Because I live over in Plano.
I mean, like, did you local?
Yeah, came up on that neighborhood.
You would think that could be something that would be in like these MSM outlets, but they're not going to touch it because again, this only once again verifies why Biden is failing at his job as president.
And then there's reports of a peeping Tom around in the neighborhood too. I think people are going to see this all across the
multiculturalism does not work. America has its own culture, which is comprised of many other cultures, but we still have a set of laws that provide parameters as far as like this is what American culture is.
Right.
You don't touch children. You don't do this shit. You don't come over and spy on it. No. What you do over in Mexico, what you do in the Middle East, you can't do here. You can't. And if people will not adjust to that, then they should go back.
Yeah. Then this place isn't for you.
This place ain't for you. Senator Amy Klobuchar bizarrely suggests that voting for Democrats in 2022 will somehow stop hurricanes. Tea Party patriots observed as others chimed in. Somebody said, Nick Freitas, I need to get him on the show. I love Nick Freitas. He's fucking hilarious. He replied to that tweet saying, sounds like a threat. Vote for us or the hurricanes will continue, LOL. It's exactly what it sounds like. Vote for Democrats. We'll stop hurricanes. Bitch, you can't even stop inflation. Shut the fuck up.
I know, man.
Americans should flee Russia immediately. This article came out. This is scary, folks. Putin's already talked about nukes. Now, Putin has done this repeatedly throughout his life. Let's not even pretend he hasn't. I remember growing up, Putin was the fucking nuke guy. Yeah. North Korea, too. But this is concerning because listen to this. Article says Americans should flee Russia immediately because they could be conscripted, the U.S. Embassy's urge. State Department warns Americans could be forced to fight in Ukraine if they do not immediately leave Russia. And he'll do it. Putin will do it. Now, here's the scary part about this. I would not be letting this hit the news. And here's the reason why. If Putin conscripts American citizens into his army to fight in Ukraine, there's your way into war. There's your way into committing troops now. This should have been done under the table. Get those people out of there. Send in your spec ops groups. Get these people out of there. Evacuate them out. Because if you think they're not involved, they 100% are.
Do you think this administration is pushing for world war?
Yeah.
Seems like it, right?
Yeah. That's why Biden is going after the new Italian prime minister and making her akin to Mussolini.
Can you believe that shit?
His biggest concern is making sure they still, live up to their commitment to provide, running interference for Ukraine. That's his concern.
I'd be like, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, fuck you, Biden. You're a joke. For people that don't get it, like Biden is a joke on the international stage.
So
nobody fears him.
They had some liberal moron running their country for a while, ran into the ground, and their people finally rose up and rejected it and inserted this woman who they're comparing to Mussolini.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how. That's the type of people. These are evil people.
These are evil people.
They want to take over the world.
Yeah, it's globalism. They want us all in a one world economy, one world religion, one world currency. No, fuck that. I don't want to do anything with people in the Middle East. I don't want to do anything with people over in England. Not that I hate the English people, the English government, because you're not pro 2A. I don't want anything to do with you. The English people I love, don't get me wrong. It's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about these corrupted fucking governments. Because these very same socialists and communists, whatever you want to call them these days, are sitting there pushing for this bullshit. It's like, you don't seem to understand. These Klaus Schwab's going to be living pretty well. You're broke as fuck. That's why they're telling you, eat these crickets, eat these bugs.
Yeah.
You're kidding me. Somebody put a bullet in that piece of shit's head.
Eat these crickets.
Eliminate these motherfuckers. That's the only way to deal with this. I don't even know how fucking Soros is still alive.
How old is he? About 160?
He's got to be almost dead.
Like, he was an actual Nazi.
He was.
There's pictures of him with a Nazi uniform on, looking...
Well, that's fucking insane, man. It's insane. But here we go.
Yeah, how old is that guy?
He's up there.
He's got to be.
He's up there.
Part
Alex
vampire.
Jones was right in my YouTube chat. Oh, my God. Stop with this bullshit. Alex Jones has also got a lot wrong. Matter of fact, he's paying for it right now. So if you want to hail him as your patron saint of political prophesying, you go right ahead. You make enough guess. This is why people that always, the Simpsons predicted this back like 20 years ago. Yeah, because there's like a million fucking episodes. Yeah. It's a statistic. It's a probability by statistics.
I don't know. Some of that stuff is kind of weird though, right?
No, it makes perfect sense.
The Family Guy episode where Stewie's running down the street saying that Kevin Spacey raped him.
Well, that's based upon what's going on in Hollywood because, Kevin Spacey came out and they busted him for, actually, I don't think Kevin Spacey ever went to trial. His career was tanked just by the court of public opinion. I don't recall Kevin Spacey ever undergoing any charges. Oh, by the way, guess who just had a kid? Motherfucking Alec Baldwin.
Did he really?
Just had a kid.
Huh.
No charges on him.
I thought I saw something in the news that he was supposed to have some charges brought up on him within the next few days, if not sooner.
We'll see. Apparently his wife just popped out their 7th or some shit like that. It's like, oh, that must make you feel good. At least you're bringing life into this world versus taking it out like you normally do. It's funny.
Yeah.
Whatever. Americans should flee Russia. Bro, that's crazy. But I mean, that almost kind of stands to reason. Like if I was over in Iran or if I was over in Russia or whatever, and I'm a part of like a U.S. embassy, whatever the case may be, and I start to see tensions rising, I'm getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, why are you staying? Kind of like Afghanistan. When people knew like months out that America was withdrawing, why are you waiting to the last minute? Get the fuck out. Because if you don't, you're met with what happened. Everybody and their mom's trying to get out all at once. Don't wait. This is the same thing we're going to see with this Hurricane Ian in Florida. The same thing we saw with Rita and Katrina. People are going to wait to the last minute. And what's going to happen? You'll be gridlocked in traffic and you're not going anywhere and you're stranded. Guaranteed. That's what happens every fucking time.
Yeah.
I think we can wait it out. All right.
At this point, you have to count on a percentage of people who are going to stay, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So. Yeah, it's going to happen. And they're going to die.
Yeah, probably.
A lot of people are going to die. Like needlessly.
Yeah.
I understand fiscally, it's what are your options? Like, it's like, bro, I don't care. We'll sleep in a gas station parking lot 500 miles from here for a few days. We don't want to die.
But, I think that's a good thing about
people
hurricanes.
In the South are fucking gung-ho, stubborn as fuck. I remember people in my hometown, we were fucking DD Mao and I was like, I've lived through so much. I'm going to say, well, fucking roll the dice and die then. I mean, if you're that stupid, you go right ahead.
Yeah, if you have 5 days notice that a Category 4 hurricane is going to show up, then...
Yeah.
Man, but maybe go up to Georgia.
It's a difficult situation because, sometimes it can turn on a dime and miss you entirely.
It could.
Sometimes it can lose strength. Sometimes it dissipates. And then sometimes... it fucking slaps some juice in its ass, and then it really makes landfall and fucks your world up. But here's the deal. You always go based upon the worst case scenario and make your planning according to that. You don't go by best case. You go by worst case. And if you don't do that, well, then you're stupid. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Yeah. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, folks. I feel bad for Floridians. I hope nobody dies. But I'm not going to sit here and cry tears of sorrow if you were in that hurricane's pathway and you stayed. And here's the other thing. It's different for there's actually handicapped people that can't do anything, and hopefully they get help. Mm-hmm. I assume they have. I would assume, like DeSantis basically said, he even said in the report to where there was this reporter trying to go after DeSantis in a press conference saying, Congresswoman so-and-so said that Florida's been very slow to react, and then he cut him off. He said, no, stop. You're not doing that. paraphrase, said, "You're not going to politicize this." He said, "We declared a national or a state of emergency long before we have most hurricanes." He said, "We've done everything." He said, "When you're trying to attack me, you're attacking these workers, these first responders that are out there putting their asses on the line every fucking day, working extra hard to make this happen, and you're attacking them. You think you're going to discredit me, but realistically, you're going after them, and all you're doing is emboldening more Floridians to say, you know what, vote red."
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. This is the most politicized hurricane there is in the history of hurricanes, I'd imagine. And it's the dumbest fucking thing. They're trying to make it about green energy. They're talking about making, DeSantis is a horrible government and respond sooner. Like, this is just so fucking stupid. Stupid. And all Biden saying, "Hey, man, get vaccinated. That's all that matters.
Get him a big thing of ice cream."
Yeah. Biden appeared. This is how. This is how bad it is for Biden. Biden appears to look for deceased congresswoman in the crowd, says, "Where's Jackie?" You cannot defend this moron. Liberals will, though. They will die on this hill because they hate Trump so much.
They will, too.
Representative Jackie Walorski was among several lawmakers who pushed for Biden's hunger, nutrition, and health conference. President Joe Biden forgot all about the death of the Indiana representative Jackie Walorski while at an event Wednesday, repeatedly searching the crowd for her and calling her name while on stage. Bro, the king has no, or the emperor has no clothes, folks. The emperor has no clothes. Biden made the grim mistake during an appearance at the White House conference on hunger, nutrition, and health in Washington. Walorski was one of 4 lawmakers who sponsored legislation pushing for the conference last year. The Republican was killed in a tragic car accident along with 2 of her staffers in early August. The president attempted to give her a shout out along with others during his address. "Hey, man, I'm going to try and show some unity by calling out a Republican." Oh, fuck, she's dead. Yeah, bro. Come on. It says, "I want to thank you all here." It says, "I want to thank all of you here, including bipartisan elected officials like Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Jackie, are you here?" Biden said, "I think she was going to be here to help make this a reality." While a tribute to Walorski was scheduled to play at the event, it was not presented while Biden and the White House pool were there. Walorski, 58, and her staffers, Communications Director Emma Thompson, 28, and District Director Zachary Potts, 27, were all killed in an August 3rd crash. Police would later confirm that Potts, the driver, had somehow turned into oncoming traffic. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that doesn't sound real. A northbound passenger car traveling left of center and collided head-on with a southbound sports utility vehicle. All 3 occupants in the southbound vehicle died as a result of their injuries. Jackie Walorski, 58, Elkhart, Indiana, Zachary Potts, 27, Mishawaka, Indiana, Emma Thompson, 28, Washington, D.C., the Eckerd County Sheriff's Office told Fox News Digital last month. Yeah.
Weird.
Lastly, Virginia Governor Youngkin defends transgender policies after student protests. I'm just going to touch on this briefly because I think the trans issue has been beat to death at this point. I'm tired of fucking talking about these whack jobs. But these students now are holding these walkouts on these campuses in support of transgender rights. Folks, if you're not seeing it now, this is a direct correlation to the brainwashing of youth. And this is over that transgenders, you have to use your gender-assigned bathroom.
Yeah.
That's what this is over. The youth are getting involved now. And if you look at, there's a lot. Just the majority of the students. That should worry you. The youth have been indoctrinated into this lie propagated by liberalism and progressivism, which is fed into pedophilia. That's what these whack jobs are doing. I've told you, I will take this to the grave. This shit started when you tried to normalize transgenderism. The gates were open with gay marriage. Let's just be honest for what it is. Let's just fucking be honest. Gay marriage opened up, and within years, transgenderism tried attaching itself to you, even though it has nothing to do with sexuality. And then with that, you had pedophilia trying to attach itself to the transgender movement, also attaching itself to the LGB. Mm-hmm. This is where you fucked up. You should have gatekeeped harder. But I'm not going to lie.
Did you say gatekeeped?
Gatekeeped. They got to gatekeep harder. This is what happens when you let whack jobs into your movement. That's why you got it. And that's the one thing I will commend the veteran community on with people like this Junior Murkowski. You hold them accountable.
Yeah.
That's a lesson that every political side should take. Look at the veteran community. I'm not trying to say that we're better than it. That's not what I'm saying. But the veteran community is also small enough and real enough to say, no, we're not going to let this shit slide because it's serious. That's why Stuart Scheller is a sellout. That's why everything he's done from now It looks like a grift to me. You're just trying to sell books at this point, bro.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just get your head up your ass and you need to realize like the big picture is not the way to answer this. You get candidates that actually want to stand up there and tell the fucking truth.
Yeah.
And offer transparency. Because here's the deal. There's plenty of other veterans that are running right now that didn't do this, that did not take this tactic. So Stewart, it's his ego. That's your ego, bro. But anyway, We'll see. I already checked the DMs. That McCroskey saw my message to invite him on the show. He hasn't responded. So we'll see. We'll see. But, yeah. There you have it. Hey, folks, you want to help us out? Share this episode. Share the podcast. This concludes today's episode, and we appreciate you being here. You want to help us grow. You want to help us get on the same levels as the Bonginos and the Timcast. That comes down to you. That's not me. We're here every day that we can be. We're putting out this content. We're trying to make it as entertaining as possible, offering you great deals. You know, this is a free show. There's no paywall. But if you could, help us out. Shout us out on social media. Tell your friends about the podcast. Share the Rumble channel. You know, you can hit that little bell at the top right next to my name when you follow to receive emails when we go live. Granted, they probably won't always be accurate, but at least you have a way of being notified. We cannot thank you enough for being here and supporting us by watching, your donations. You know, we're having to start everything all over. Once we got banned off of YouTube and Twitch, you know, there went that money. So we're starting all the way over here on Rumble, and we have no big names to shout us out because, again, we do not tie in with the GOP. We're not going to get shout outs by big names. You know, the offers to come on these shows, they're gone because we basically call it the GOP, and GOP don't like that. Big names in the GOP, they don't like that. So that's why we do this on our own. We're not beholden to anybody, and we can call out the left and the right, and I like that position. So, again, this movement, the Lost Savages, grows with you. You grow it, not us. So that pretty much covers it for today's episode. Appreciate that. You got that outro music ready?
Yeah, and make sure you check us out on Shell Shock CBD as well.
ShellShockCBD.com, code MUG, saves you $14.99 off of that free ceramic mug. We appreciate that. Again, orders $50 or more, money back guarantee. What do you got to lose? You've got literally nothing to lose. We also have the Delta 8 and Delta 9 products that will get you high as fuck. They will get you high. We can't advertise this on social media because they keep banning our shit. We've got Delta 8 vapes. We've got all this stuff. We got the sativa. We got the indica. We got everything there. So check it out. What are you waiting for? We can get you sleepy. We can get you stoned. And here in the upcoming months, we're going to get you horny as fuck for Shell Shock After Dark. So that's all I got. You got anything, Devin, man?
Yeah, you guys have a great day.
And until tomorrow, you stay savage, America.